Enemy fish mechs have attacked, so let's take to the stars and shoot 'em up in this Taito classic for the Sega Saturn, Darius Gaiden. Hey everybody, it's me, Majora T, here filling in for Alex from TurboZone for the Majora T takeover. Thank you, Alex, for the opportunity to talk about this much beloved spaceship shooter, aka fish ship shooter, for the Sega Saturn. I originally played this game on the PlayStation 2 through a Taito compilation called Taito Legends 2. You actually get the full game in that compilation, and Alex and I talked about it on his channel years ago. The video is still up if you want to take a listen. But there is really so much to this game that is worth discussing and exploring. First, the Darius series is well renowned for its legacy as a spaceship shooting game, yet it has a very fishy twist.
So Darius Gaiden is what I like to call spaceship shooting opera with fishes. Spaceship shooting opera with fishes. That sounds good. Like a genre of music or something. I should patent that.
Consider it archived.
Now, when most people talk about marine fighting, I bet you didn't expect an actual marine setting. This is aquatic, militaristic, and a blend of the two. It's never officially like you're playing in an aquarium fighting just octopus. These things are like straight robots, and you really do get the sense that it's blending this kind of sci-fi feel with also themes that range from the sea to also robots and mechs. I think somebody had an interesting play on the word marine when they were coming up with this game and the concept. I especially like Darius Gaiden for its presentation. It's just a beautiful game that synthesizes the music with the spaceship shooting experience very well. It almost feels like you're experiencing an opera or something, especially with the music. It's just so well scored. A very beautiful game. Darius is also unique for the branching path system. Notice every time that a level is cleared, the player is presented with an inverted pyramid tilted sideways, ranging from the letters A through Z, and every line of the pyramid has one more option. There are a total of 28 levels. However, because you select the path through that pyramid, you only play 7 levels. Now, when I ran the probability of the number of possible outcomes, I came up with 34. It was kind of complicated, and I used Google Drawing to do it, but essentially every time you go down the line, you get an extra option. So if you run A through the top, A through Z, that's 1, but then if you pick what comes before Z, Y instead, that's 2, and then if you start and change at K, you get 4 options, and then that kind of splits in the middle. So let me know if my math is right. I'm not really sure here, but the fact that there are 34 possible outcomes for how you play Darius Gaiden gives so much replay value.
Alright, so in an effort to be more culturally sensitive, I wanted to look up exactly how to pronounce the name of this game. And so let's take a listen and see what we got from Google Translate, shall we?
Darius Gaiden.
Darius Gaiden. Oh yeah, I love me some Darius Gaiden.
Wow, it's a real party in the Dari USA, ain't it? But hey, that's no excuse to get drunk just yet, because this game is damn hard and is going to test all of your reflexes. So it is hard, it's difficult, but it's not a bullet hell. So I find that a boon to the game. But that doesn't mean that you can just relax. There are a number of enemy units and bullets that come across on screen, and it can be very difficult to navigate around them. Fortunately, the player is allotted several tools at their disposal to help them. I'm going to walk you through a few of them about how you can finesse your experience playing Darius Gaiden for a 30-minute session so that you can do your best to see the end. The first thing is, when you start the game, I highly recommend switching the difficulty to easy. I don't know what that does, but I can tell you that for your first playthrough, you will need it. Another thing is to understand the systems that are in the game. Number one is, this is a game that has upgrades for your shot power, for your bombs, and for your shield. Most spaceship shooters don't have a shield, so I actually really appreciate this one for having it and for giving you that kind of ability to keep your upgrades, because every time your ship dies or explodes, you lose a lot of your upgrades, if not all of them. And so with shot power, one thing to keep in mind is that you want to keep upgrading it, but you want to keep it safe. Because as you ascend a level of shot power, not necessarily like, if you get 2 blue shots as opposed to 1, but if you go from blue to red and then red to green, when you lose your ship, it then goes from green to red instead of all the way back to the beginning. And so preservation is key. Now, another way to really make sure that you keep your preservation is to keep your shield, or to get the shield if you lose it. And this can be hard because a lot of these bosses are really challenging, and one of the best things that you can do is to use your bombs. Don't let them go to waste. Don't be afraid to use a bomb to pick up a shield, because if that helps you preserve your ship, that is going to put you in such a better situation. And then another thing is, oftentimes when you get to that boss, they're going to take your life in a matter of seconds. And every time you respawn, you start with 3 bombs. And when you use the bomb, it gives you a momentary period of invulnerability where you get to cross across the screen and shoot the enemies as you like and pick up power-ups. And that temporary invincibility is huge. It's huge in dealing damage to enemies, in picking up upgrades, and also in withering away the bosses. This is not a game where you want to let that go to waste, so use that to your advantage. Another very interesting system that I didn't fully finesse but still found fun and useful is the system of picking up enemy units. Now, you can only do this with what are called average bosses. Within each level, besides 2 of them, there are both bosses and average bosses. The boss is the enemy that you fight at the end. The average boss is a mechanism that has, it's fish themed generally, and it has this kind of orb on top of it. And when you shoot the orb, you can actually pull it in and then use that as an ally throughout the level. Oftentimes I found them exploding because they were hitting terrain, within the screen. I couldn't quite figure out how to prevent them from doing so or from getting hit by enemy bullets, but they're really fun to just have tag team with your ship. Another thing is, I would highly recommend that, I know that there are so many paths within this game, so experimentation is kind of fun and an interesting aspect, but on your first few playthroughs, I highly recommend sticking with the path and really giving it a few tries and getting better every time. The more that you memorize the levels, the better you'll be at keeping your lives and also your credits, and that's super important in getting to the end, because this is a game where every life and every credit counts, especially if you're playing on single player.
Darius Gaiden can be absolutely brutal when you game over in single player, which is why we pass down this trick. Take the controller and put it in port 2. Beautiful.
So while there are a lot of ways to make sure that you really do enjoy the game, I think that's really one of the most important things that you do, is enjoy the game, because it's just damn fun. You can do co-op in this game, and I'm sure it's fun, but I'm also sure it's hard to see the end of the game. This is a game with a fixed credit amount. I haven't dabbled with an action replay cart, so I don't know about adding more. I honestly kind of like that because it really does challenge you to get to know the game, to take it out for drinks, and really it bond with it. No, I'm just joking around, but the point is that this is a game that you can take your time with, you can enjoy it, you can come back to it whenever, you can enjoy it in multiple ways, and I really do think that's a beautiful thing. The entire experience is delightful, it's pleasant, and it's engaging. You're not going to look away for your entire playthrough, and by the time you finish, if you didn't get the end, you're going to want to come back and redo it. Every playthrough is about 25 to 30 minutes, so this is a real quick and engaging experience, and I think that's awesome. I think this is like, it's not necessarily simple. There's several mechanisms to get here, and several things that you need to do, like understand and memorize the levels, but it's one that is very much manageable, and I find that a lot of spaceship shooters aren't. This is one I was I found appealing, and I didn't get intimidated about going back to. And I just had a blast with Darius Gaiden.
So wherever people stand on the Darius games or spaceship shooting games, I think we can all agree that Darius Gaiden is a fresh take on the genre. It's also a fish take on the genre. Does that make it a fresh fish take on the genre? Well, yes, but at least it's not an old fish take on the genre. That'd just be nasty, bro. I don't want that in my collection. Get that out of there. Oh, that stinks.
Darius Gaiden. It may sound fishy, but it's far from it. It's a damn good game. It's well made, and it's one that well deserves its legacy. Thank you for checking out the video. I hope you subscribe to Alex from TurboZone for more excellent Sega Saturn as well as great content. And check me out on my channel too if you liked the commentary style. I got more jokes up the alley, and I'm happy to talk all things Darius Gaiden. Maybe I'll check out that collection in the future.
Boom, baby. We're having cod fish tonight. Cod slices. I dare you to Darius.